everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today, too cold, too much snow to get out and do anything fun, so thought I'd give you guys a gear review. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. So what I'm going to show you guys today is super popular sleeping pad that's been on the market for a while now, but it seems like everybody's getting them, everybody's trying them out. I've had this one for just about a year now. Lots of good things to say about it, so I thought I would compare it to another pretty popular one that's been on the market for quite a while, which is the Klymit Static V Recon. I've had this one probably for 2 years now, so I thought I'd just do a little video comparing the two, giving my thoughts on them, and just sharing some of the specs and everything, and maybe helping you make a decision on which pad would be right for you. So to start the video out, we'll talk about the Nemo first. Lots of pros and cons about the Nemo. So I've got a cheat sheet here for the specs because I can't remember all this stuff. But basically what I've got on the specs is I have the regular length and the wide width. So that comes out to 72 inches long, 25 inches wide. Total weight with the stuff stack, everything as is. It does come with a patch repair kit. And we'll get into everything else that's inside the stuff stack here in a minute. So that weight comes to 22 ounces. And this is all these specs I've got right off of the Amazon website. It lists everything. So that's where I bought the pad. That's where I'm getting all the specs from. It is 3 inches thick when inflated. And they say it packs down to 9.5 by 3, which is pretty close. I would say 3.5. 9 inches wide, or 9.5 inches wide long, however you want to say it. And this is the insulated. So they do make a non-insulated. Ask Chris at Hooks and Hammocks how that works out for him in the wintertime. He accidentally got shipped the uninsulated one and tried to sleep in 20-degree weather. Figured out it wasn't insulated really quick. But the insulated, it has a thermal mirror insulation, so it's basically like the emergency blanket style reflective material, and it's got 2 layers of that inside this for the insulation. They rate this R value 3.5, which they say is good down to 10 to 20 degrees. I have slept on this in 16-degree weather, the coldest I've had it in, and I was warm. It was no problems, never woke up cold or anything. So where we get into a big difference between this and the Static V is price. So the price on this right now is not too bad. It's $159 on Amazon. I think when I bought it, I actually paid $179, but it was newer to the market, so it seems like they came down in price a little bit. But it's a pretty good investment for a sleeping pad. But I think, you know, a lot of the Thermarest, Neo Airs, and stuff like that are pretty comparable to this. I think they may have a slight higher R value, but if you've ever slept in a tent next to somebody else's tent, they have that. It's like, I don't know how people sleep on them. They're so loud. This one is super quiet. It doesn't sound like you're laying on a bag of, you know, potato chips. But price $159.99 on Amazon. So going over to the Klymit, the Static V Recon. So the weight, and it's got all their stats mainly on the package here, on the stuff sack. They say it is 18.6 ounces, and that's with the stuff sack, and it does come with a patch repair kit also. It's made out of a 75D polyester fabric. I'm not really sure what the Nemo was made out of. I couldn't find that. But so the other specs, they say it inflates 10 to 15 breaths, probably more to the 15 unless you're full of hot air like that hiking guy. So the length is 72 inches, so it's the same as the Nemo. And this one's only 23 inches wide, so it's 2 inches narrower. Could be where some of the weight savings comes from. This one only inflates to 2.5 inches thick, so ½ inch less on that. Packs 3 inches by 8. I'd say that's pretty close. It does pack down a little shorter than the Nemo, but in diameter about the same. So nothing that would make a big difference. So R value 1.3. Okay, so I was getting ready to say the R value on, I was talking about the R value on the Klymit, and I was just editing this video, and for some reason my GoPro turned off, and lost some of the footage there. So basically I was comparing, you know, the R value with the price on the Klymit. The Klymit, it runs you right now on Amazon about $37 to $40, depending on who you buy it off of Amazon, who the seller is. So I was just kind of making the point that you can't really compare price between these two pads because the Klymit is uninsulated versus the insulated Nemo. So back to the rest of the video. All right, well, got them blown up. So I thought I'd show you the valve system on each pad first. So this is the Klymit, and it has just that classic little tube on the top. It's got a little screw on top, a little valve to open and close. You just twist it, open it, blow into it, close it. And then the Nemo, it's got this little cap here, which is a little nicer. I like that that's flat. If you go rolling around in the middle of the night, throw your arms around like I do, you don't hit that valve. But it's got, it's gonna be hard to show here, but it's got two little flaps there. So if you open the top one, if I can do this one-handed, you'll see it's got a little valve in there, so you can blow it up. And I forgot to mention too, this comes with a pump sack too. I'll show that here in a second. But it literally clips into there. The pump sack does, you know, and pumps the air in. But I always blow it as tight as I can get it. And you know, with temperature changing out, you always lose a little bit. But if you wanted it a little softer, all you'd have to do is push it on the valve, and it'll let some air out. So you can kind of customize it how you want. You can do that with the Klymit too. You just have to twist that valve a little bit of air out. And one other thing I like about this valve system on the Nemos is you can just pull this valve out and roll it up from the bottom, and it pushes all the air out. Makes it a lot easier to get it deflated. And that is one thing that I hate about the Static V is it seems like it is just a royal pain to get all the air out of it. I have to roll 2 or 3 times, it seems like, to get all the air out of it. But side-by-side comparison, they're pretty much the same length. I think I've got this one pushed down a little amount. They're both supposed to be 72 inches long. I don't know why this one's curled up on the end here, just probably because it's been rolled up in the pack. But I mean, just at first look, you could see which one would you want to sleep on. Like I said, it's not fair to compare these two as far as the R value, but as far as comfortability, how comfortable they are. So, you know, the Static V, they say these V chambers are supposed to be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. What I've found is laying on them at night, especially if the temperature goes down, it just takes just a little bit of air loss, and my hips are hitting the ground. And it's just, in my opinion, it's just not a very comfortable mat. It's been very durable, I'll give them that, and weight and everything, it's the same. But with the Nemo, it is a 1/2 inch thicker, but the way it's made, it just, like, I'm putting a lot of weight on right here and I'm still not touching the ground. I have never woke up with my hips hurting laying on the ground, you know, anything like that. So as far as comfortable rating goes, I give it to Nemo hands down. It has just been an amazing pad to sleep on, and I'm primarily a hammock camper, but every once in a while I'll take a tent. Like I said, R value, it's not fair to compare them to the two, but the comfortable, how comfortable the Nemo is, hands down. Pump sack, that's probably included in the weight. That may be another reason why the weight is just a tick more than the Klymit. But it's just got this valve right here. That clips into the sleeping pad valve right there. And just got an opening on the end here. This is always easy to do one-handed. But basically, you clip that in, and it'll open up, full of air, and you just press it down in. It takes 3 to 4 sacks to fill it is what I've found. I did count when I blew up the Klymit. Took me 12 breaths. So, I mean, that's not too bad. It's not like you're huffing and puffing the whole time. My biggest complaint about inflating these pads is with the Klymit, or deflating the pads. It just always seems like it's a pain in the butt to get all the air out of it so you can roll it up small enough to get back in the pumps or in the stuff sack. You may not want to do that, it may not make a difference to you, but overall, in my opinion, the Nemo wins. I know it's a more expensive pad, but what is, you know, a good night's sleep worth to you too? If you are on a budget or just getting started, Klymit's not a bad pad. It's just not as comfortable, and the R value isn't there in this one. Like I said, they do make an insulated static V. I'm not sure what the R value is or price, but that's an easy check on Amazon for you. So that's pretty much it between these two pads. I would go with the Nemo all day long if it fits in your budget and you're looking for a good insulated pad. I would make sure that if you're get the insulated pad, it'll say, let me grab this stuff sack and show you. It will say on the sack here that is insulated. Like I said, my buddy Chris with Hooks and Hammocks, he found out the hard way that they'd sent him the wrong pad and tried to sleep out when I was in the 20s, and that didn't work too well. He ended up in his truck in the middle of the night. So with that, if you guys have any questions or comments about either one of these pads, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. And just remember, I'm comparing these two side by side. Can't really compare the price because, like I said, the R value, but all day long I would go with the Nemo. So with that, if you guys like this video, please smash that thumbs up button, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.